Right then, listen up. You might think a little hatchback like the Maruti 800 is, well, a bit dull. But trust me, in India, this car is a legend. Before the Maruti 800, owning a car in India was like owning a private jet, a luxury for the super rich. Most people traveled by scooters, rickshaws or rickety buses. But then, the Maruti 800 arrived, small, affordable and reliable. It was more than just a car. It was a symbol of progress, aspiration and freedom. Families could explore their country, visit relatives and escape the chaos of the city. So buckle up because we're going on a road trip through the history of this automotive icon. Now, you can't talk about the Maruti 800 without talking about the partnership that made it all happen. In the early 1980s, the Indian government decided it was time to kickstart the country's car industry. Enter Suzuki, the Japanese automaker known for their small, reliable cars. They joined forces and formed Maruti Udyog Limited, with Suzuki holding a majority stake. This partnership brought together Suzuki's technical expertise with India's manufacturing capabilities. The Maruti 800 wasn't just a car, it was a symbol of this Indo-Japanese collaboration. It represented a new era of industrial growth and technological advancement for India. Picture this. December 14th, 1983. A crisp winter day in Delhi. The who's who of Indian politics and industry gathered for a momentous occasion. The first Maruti 800, gleaming under the Indian sun, was ready to roll off the production line. The then Prime Minister, Indira Gandhi, handed over the keys of the very first Maruti 800 to its proud owner, Mr. Harpal Singh. The first Maruti 800, a bright white hatchback with the registration number DIA 6479, became an instant celebrity. It was the car everyone wanted, the symbol of a new India on the move, and Mr. Singh, the lucky first owner, became a national icon overnight. Now, here's the thing about the Maruti 800. It wasn't just a car, it was an aspiration on wheels. Before its arrival, owning a car was a distant dream for most Indians, but the Maruti 800 changed everything. It was priced within reach of the growing middle class, making car ownership a reality for millions. Families scrimped and saved, took out loans, and proudly parked their brand new Maruti 800S in their driveways. It was more than just transport. It was a passport to a world of possibilities. The Maruti 800 wasn't just a car. It was a ticket to freedom, adventure, and a whole lot of fun. Section 5. A sea of Maruti dominating the Indian roads. The Maruti 800 wasn't just popular, it was a bona fide automotive rock star. It took India by storm, and soon the roads were awash in a sea of these little hatchbacks. Over its 30-year production run, Maruti-Suzuki sold a staggering 2.7 million units of the 800. It became the best-selling car in India for 15 consecutive years. The Maruti 800 was reliable, fuel-efficient, and easy to maintain. It was the perfect car for Indian roads and driving conditions. This car was a survivor, a true testament to Japanese engineering and Indian resilience. Section 6. Small car, big impact, design and efficiency redefined. Now let's talk about the car itself. The Maruti 800 wasn't exactly a head-turner. It was a small, boxy hatchback, designed for practicality rather than speed. It was powered by a tiny 796cc engine, which might not sound like much, but it was more than enough to get the job done. This little engine was a marvel of efficiency, squeezing every last kilometer out of a liter of petrol. In a country where fuel prices could make your eyes water, this was a major selling point. It was the perfect city car. Nimble, efficient, and always up for a challenge. Section 7. The Boot Strikes Back. A car that carried it all. Now, we've all seen those pictures of tiny cars in India loaded with what seems like the entire contents of a small apartment. Well, the Maruti 800 was the undisputed king of this automotive Tetris. It was the car that could, and often did, carry everything but the kitchen sink. Imagine this, A family of 5, their luggage piled high on the roof rack, a couple of chickens tied to the bumper, and maybe even a goat or two squeezed into the back seat. This car was a trooper, a testament to the ingenuity and resourcefulness of the Indian people. The Maruti 800's ability to carry seemingly impossible loads became legendary. Section 8. From Bollywood to family outings, the Maruti 800 in Indian culture. The Maruti 800 wasn't just a car. It was a cultural icon. It was so ingrained in the fabric of Indian life that it became a part of the national identity. It was the car that ferried families on holidays, students to college, and newlyweds to their new lives. The Maruti 800 made appearances in countless Bollywood movies, often serving as the trusty sidekick to the hero or the getaway car in a daring chase scene. It was the car that countless Indians took their first road trip in, learned to drive in, and created memories in. And that, my friends, is a legacy that goes far beyond horsepower and torque. Section 9. Driving off into the sunset. The end of an era and a lasting legacy. All good things must come to an end, and so it was with the Maruti 800. After a glorious 30-year run, production finally ceased in 2014. The automotive landscape had changed, with newer, more modern cars hitting the market. But the Maruti 800's place in history was secure. It had democratized car ownership, empowered the middle class, and become a symbol of national pride. Today, the Maruti 800 is a collector's item, a nostalgic reminder of a simpler time. So next time you see a Maruti 800, give it a nod of respect. It's not just a car, it's a legend.